Happy Vlogmas book friends, I'm Jen and welcome back to my holiday reading life. Today I'm here to do a fun little book tag. This is the Cozy Christmas book tag. What could be better for the holiday season? And I hope you'll come along while I answer some cozy book questions. This book tag was originally created by Call Me After Coffee, and I will have her channel and her original video linked down in the description box below, so be sure to go check that out. And I love that she has sort of a different theme for each question, and you will see they're all very wintry, holiday, and so I'm just going to start with the first question, and let us get into this cozy book tag. First up, we have question 1, which is Twinkling Lights. What is the most beautiful book that you own? I own quite a few beautiful books. It was really hard to decide, but I thought I would share one that I don't believe I've shared on my channel at all. And this book was a gift from my best friend for my 50th birthday, and it's very special to me, and it is so beautiful and so unique. And that book is The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. This is lavishly illustrated with interactive elements by Minna Lima. I don't know if you've ever seen the Minna Lima books before. They are gorgeous, as you can tell. I mean, so beautiful, just the outside. But then the inside is so unique. So you can see, here's the yellow brick road, and it opens up. So much fun. Let me show you another page from it. On this page, we've got sort of a 3D element here. Oz. Fantastic. I love this book so much, and I have shared on my channel before that I did a lot of theater growing up and in the early decades of my adulthood as well, and one of the shows that is near and dear to my heart is The Wizard of Oz. I was in a children's theater production of it when I was in high school. I played the Wicked Witch of the West. It was a fantastic role to play. And then when I was in college, I worked as a dance instructor and a choreographer, and I choreographed a completely different children's theater production of The Wizard of Oz. So my best friend, who was my college roommate at the time, she listened to a lot of Wizard of Oz music over and over again. Small pieces of it. When you're choreographing, oftentimes you have to keep going back to the same spot and doing it as you're coming up with the choreography. And so it got quite repetitive, and both my roommates had Wizard of Oz songs stuck in their head for months. Apologies to both of you. But The Wizard of Oz just always holds a special place in my heart, and I love having this book in my collection. It's so beautiful. I mean, I have so many beautiful books. It's really hard to choose, but this one, beautiful and very special. Question number 2 is the perfect tree. Will you pay more to get the prettiest edition of a book? I am not opposed to paying a little bit more for a beautiful edition or a special edition, especially of a beloved book, a book that I love, that I reread, that I know is going to be part of my collection forever. Then I definitely will seek out beautiful editions of those books. I have lovely editions of Jane Austen's books, of Jane Eyre. I have been collecting editions of Laurie Colwin's books because I love her so much. And so yes, I will definitely seek those out, and I am willing to pay a little bit more. Especially I feel like I've become a bit more of a collector of books rather than just essentially a reader of books. And so I'm always keeping my eye out for editions of books that I think will look beautiful on the shelf, as well as being books that are beautiful to read. This third question isn't really a question. It is build a snowman, make a Christmas book stack. And I'm going to make one, and I will insert a little video of it here for you all to see, so you can see my built Christmas book stack for your pleasure. I will try to make this long enough that you can read all of the titles that I included. I'm thinking I'm going to make this a traditional green tree. So a green book stack to make a green Christmas tree. I love doing these book stacks. I haven't done one in such a long time, and I used to do them all the time on Bookstagram, all those different book challenges to pull different books off your shelf and do them in color coordination or, you know, something like that. I should do more of those. Those are fun. Moving on to question 4, which is Crackling Fire. What book makes you feel warm and cozy? Well, I mean, we could just look at my bookshelves and most of the books on there probably make me feel warm and cozy. I decided to pick, it's actually 2 books that I read this year that are just, they're 2 new favorites of mine, and I cannot wait because they are being republished in 2026 in the summertime, and we are going to be reading these for the Cozy Reader Book Club. It will be a reread for me, and I cannot wait. And that is Belle Lamington and Fletcher's End by D.E. Stevenson. These 2 books follow Belle Lamington. We start off with her when she's a young woman in her early 20s, and she's single and living in London and working, and she's maybe not the happiest or most satisfied with her life. And then we follow along with her and see what happens through Belle Lamington. And then her story wraps up in Fletcher's End, and I just love these 2 books. I love Belle. I love all of the characters in this story. I don't want to tell you too much about it because I really think you should just go into these books and just immerse yourself in Belle's world. And it is so charming. She's such an endearing character. D.E. Stevenson builds such a beautiful picture of her life. And I love Belle Lamington. I love Fletcher's End even more. It's so cozy and domestic, and it's got lots of details about living in the English countryside that I just adore. Please don't read anything about Fletcher's End before you read it because it's got spoilers in it for Belle Lamington. So just dive into it. I promise you won't be disappointed, and I'm very excited that Dean Street Press is republishing both of these titles in July of next year. Cannot wait. And as I mentioned, we are going to be reading both books in September for the Cozy Reader Book Club. If you want to join the Cozy Reader Book Club, all the information is down in the description box below. You're welcome to join our Substack. That is how you will get onto our mailing list and get the links for our monthly discussions. And you can find all of our book selections for the year on Substack as well. So we would love to have you join us. But yes, warm and cozy, Belle Lamington, Fletcher's End, just the best. Next up is question number 5, which is knee-high socks. Does anyone have knee-high socks anymore? I think I have a couple pairs. I wear them sometimes under tall boots, but people don't wear knee-high socks like they used to. I used to love knee-high socks when I was growing up. Anyway, the question is, what is the longest book you have read? Now, I can't be 100% sure of what is exactly the longest book that I've read, but I went on to Goodreads and looked at the page counts for all of the books I have read since I joined Goodreads, which was back in 2011, 9. It's been a long time. So I have a lot of information on Goodreads about books I've read over the course of the past couple of decades almost. And the book that on there is listed as the longest is part of Ken Follett's Century trilogy. And the 3rd book in the trilogy is called Edge of Eternity, and it clocks in at 1,098 pages. It is a chunkster. That entire trilogy is a chunkster. I really loved the first book in that trilogy, which is Fall of Giants, I believe. I actually read that book. I took the giant hardcover of that book on my honeymoon to Hawaii, and I read it by the pool and on the beach. It was the only thing I read on our honeymoon. And it was so funny because after I came back, I loaned it to my mom because I just loved it. It was such an epic, sweeping story of, it's 4 or 5 families that you're following, one British, one American, one Russian, German, I'm blanking. Anyway, large number of families, sweeping epic story. It's the century of the 20th century, basically. So it follows from the beginning of the 20th century and goes up till almost the end of it, I believe. Fantastic. That's the entire trilogy. The first book is just the early parts. I think it maybe goes up to like World War I or something like that. So good. Loaned it to my mom to get back to my story. And while she was reading it in bed one night, a bunch of sand fell out of the book. I said, I just brought you a little bit of Hawaii. That's all. Unfortunately, that book got given to another friend of my mom's, and I have never seen it since. I'm very sad because I wanted to keep that book because I read it on my honeymoon, so it has a special place in my heart. But I think it's the best of the 3 books in the trilogy. The third book, I did feel dragged a little bit, and I didn't enjoy it as much. I think maybe because I was more familiar with the events that were happening in it. I mean, it goes up through things like JFK's assassination in Vietnam, and, you know, so it was just more familiar, and it wasn't as interesting to me as a time period that I don't know as much about, like the early part of the 20th century was. But still a great trilogy. It is a time commitment though, because all the books are huge. I think they're all well over 800 pages. And as I said, the third book is over 1,000 pages. So it's a time investment, but I read it and I do recommend the first book for sure. It's fantastic. Next up is question 6, which is ugly sweaters. What's the ugliest book you own? And at first I thought, I don't think I own any ugly books. And then I was scanning my bookshelves trying to see if there was something on there that I really thought wasn't a very attractive book. And then I remembered this book I'm about to show you. And it's not that the book is ugly, but the picture on it is a little bit disturbing to me. Maybe it is to you too. And that is The Demon in the House by Angela Thirkell. Look at the children in this picture. I don't know. Something about their faces is a little bit disturbing and off-putting. And it's like China dolls where they have that sort of glassy stare, especially this one right here. I really would prefer to have this. I'm not sure if Virago Modern Classics republished this book in Angela Thirkell's series. Yes, I think I'm going to try to see if I can find that edition instead of this one, because there's nothing scary or disturbing about this book. It's about Tony Moreland, who is Laura Moreland's son from the first book in the series, High Rising. And he's just, you know, he's very busy and he's kind of precocious, and, you know, stuff is always happening when he's around. He's always kind of getting into things. And so that is what The Demon in the House refers to, not these semi-demonic children on the cover of this book. I'm not sure what is happening here. So this is a famous picture. The cover illustration is called A Family by Albert Besnard. Well, Albert Besnard, I don't think you're the artist for me. So, ugly, I don't know if ugly is quite the right word for it, but definitely not my favorite cover. Question number 7, this is the second to last question, is Blizzards. This is a book set in winter or a book that gives you the chills, has dark themes. Well, this book kind of has both of those things. It's set during the Christmas season. There is definitely snow, and it is it is a mystery / thriller, and that is The Long Shadow by Celia Fremland. It says, "Welcome to the Nightmare Christmas Holiday." And in this, we are following Imogen, and she is awakened by the phone ringing and a man accusing her of killing her. Is he her husband or ex-husband? Yeah, her husband, who had died in a car crash a couple of months prior. And then she's got all of these guests descending on her for the Christmas holidays, most of whom she doesn't really want to come staying with her. She sort of feels obligated to have them. And we sort of follow along with her trying to figure out what actually happened to her husband, and did somebody kill him? She knows she didn't do it, and This was so engaging. I very much enjoyed this. It's a thriller, but Celia Fremlin was writing in, let's see, this was originally published in 1975. So it's not a thriller the way you might think of a modern thriller, but it definitely has that little bit of tension to it that the thriller has. And they compare her to Patricia Highsmith on the cover of this, and I would agree with that. I think Patricia Highsmith, at least from what I remember from this one, I think Patricia Highsmith is creepier than Celia Fremlin, but kind of similar vibes. Like you're not sure who you can trust or what's going on. So I definitely recommend this, and I do want to read more by Celia Fremlin. I actually have Uncle Paul on my TBR shelf to read. I'm hoping to get to that in the summer next year. But yes, if you've read anything else by her, let me know what other books are good, because I want to read more of her. This level of thriller is just about right for me when I'm in the mood for something like that. And then question number 8, the final question in this cozy Christmas book tag is home for the holidays. For the rereaders out there, are there any books that feel like going home? So many books feel like going home to me. Of course, my favorite book, Happy All the Time by Laurie Colwin, always feels like going home as soon as I open the cover of it. Jane Eyre feels like going home. I feel like I just know Jane so well and I relate to her so much. Always feels like going home when I revisit her. Anything by Jane Austen feels like going home. The same with my other favorite authors, Mary Stewart, Agatha Christie, Susan Branch, Rosamund Pilcher. Any and all of those all feel like going home. D.E. Stevenson, which I haven't really reread her yet. Molly Clavering, I have reread Near Neighbors by her, but she feels like coming home or going home. Is it going home? Yes, going home. Yes, I mean, just all my favorite cozy comfort authors. James Herriot. James Herriot always feels like going home. So looking forward to reading my James Herriot book in the week after Christmas. Yes, so many books and authors. I could go on and on and on, but you get the idea. And that will do it. That answers all of the 8 questions from the Cozy Christmas book tag. This was really fun. I enjoyed answering these, and it gave me a chance to talk about some books that I don't think I have mentioned on my channel before. So I really enjoyed doing that, and I hope you did as well. Let us chat down in the comments. Answer some of these questions. Let me know what's the most beautiful book you own? What's the ugliest book you own? What's a book that feels like going home to you? Answer any or all of these questions in the comments. I would love to see your responses. And thank you for coming along with me to answer these cozy Christmas book questions. This was very fun. And if you're here but you don't have anything you'd like to add in the comments, but you'd like to let me know you were here, because comments really do help my channel, why don't you leave an emoji of one of the themes of the questions? So we have a snowman, a crackling fire, socks, a sweater, blizzards, so snow. Leave me something related to the themes of each of these questions down in the comments. I love seeing those emojis and knowing you were here, and I do appreciate them. It really helps my channel, as do likes and hypes. And also, if you're enjoying all of my Vlogmas content, if you would subscribe and join my Cozy Bookish community. I would love to have you here. Lots more Vlogmas content coming, and then after the holidays, I will be back to my regular Tuesday and Friday posting schedule, so I hope you will stick around for all of the good stuff still to come. And thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend it here with me and to leave such lovely comments and have such wonderful bookish conversations. I so appreciate all of you. I read every single one of your comments, and I'm doing my best to keep up with them as much as I can. And please keep sharing your thoughts and having conversations with each other. I love seeing that down in the comments as well. And as always, this Vlogmas, I'll be back with another video tomorrow. And until then, happy holidays and happy reading. Bye!